Hey guys, I apologize for missing yesterday. The last few days I've had this crazy cold that's been going around. I'm not sure what it is. It's a flu, whatever, chills, fever, just the whole gamut. Zero appetite, didn't want to eat, but coming out of it now and ready to get back to work. Let's talk about how to consistently index and drive a pistol. Any type of long gun, doesn't matter. If it has a sighting system, there's one thing you're going to have to consistently do that will allow you to index that weapon onto a target and make hits, right? And that's this. You want to begin with the end in mind. Well, what do I mean with that? Where does the pistol or the rifle end up when we're shooting? Typically under your dominant eye, right? That's how we sight things. And you have all the ways to figure out what is your dominant eye and this and that, right? But the bottom line is, I want to begin with the end in mind, which is I'm going to end up under my dominant eye. I'm going to start there. Now, what does that mean? I'll give you an example. I went through a number of shooting schools over the course of my career, especially once I was a part of the SWAT team. I was able to go train with basically all of my heroes. And a lot of those guys had the same process of figuring out where to collect the pistol, right? Just speaking to the pistol right now. And that was basically some sort of clap, and that's where you're going to catch the gun. Wherever I collect the pistol is going to be that clap right there. I'm going to come up, clap. Now look, where is that at? It's in the center of my body. It's not under my dominant eye. That means in order to drive the pistol out, I'm going to have to make some micro adjustments to get it under my dominant eye. Those micro adjustments are time lost. And it wasn't until I trained with Dr. Middlebrooks, and I trained with Dr. Middlebrooks in 2001, that he said, listen, we're going to end with the pistol under the dominant eye or the rifle. Why not start there? I'm going to start my collection point underneath of my dominant eye. If you'll bear with me here real quick, I'm no Mr. Ross, but I'm going to do some artwork for you, right? Here we are, right? Always smiling, right? Come down here. Now, for our purposes, right? This is the dominant eye. I want to collect the pistol directly under the dominant eye. Right there. That's going to be my collection point. Would be right there, right? Not here. I want to collect it here, right? I want the pistol to come out and begin with the end in mind. So when I come out with the pistol, I'm going to stage my hand for purposes the way DR taught it. So I'll show you the way DR taught it. I would start with my fingers here, a little bit of a standoff, which helps with body armor and that kind of stuff. Start with the pistol here, or the support hand here, underneath of my dominant eye. And I'm going to come up and my thumbs are going to meet. Come up from the draw, and my thumbs meet, and I'm going to flick my fingers out right there. And I'm going to level the pistol out. As I level the pistol out, I drive it out, and the sights are aligned underneath my dominant eye, and it never leaves my dominant eye. That way, and if God forbid, you're in a situation where you are defending yourself, you have milliseconds. I don't want to spend any of those seconds here adjusting as I drive out. I want something that's repeatable, robust, right? I want it to be consistent. All the synonyms that you would insert to describe that behavior, that's what I want. I want this thing to always just come straight out and right on target with as little adjustment as necessary. At this point, after 23 years, my first class with DR was in 2001, just before 9/11, and I believe it was August of 2001. Since that time, so 24 years of training this. At this point, I can't not see the sighting system. It's always there. It's instantly in front of my face. But just wanted you guys to think about that. Begin with the end in mind, and then build from there. And now here's a simple exercise. I'm going to start at the end, which is sights aligned or sighting system on the target, everything the way I need it, and I'm going to collapse back just a little bit. And then I'm going to press out, and I'm going to collapse back and press out. And I want to do that about 25 times. Now, if you've trained with Ron Avery, when I went through Ron Avery's class, he called this SAFE exercises, which are sight alignment by feel exercise. I'm going to start at the end, and I'm going to collapse back, and then I'm going to collapse back a little further, which would be for the fist fire shooting system. This is called the guard because I have the pistol in close, and this is my fundamental starting position for shooting. I'm going to start. Close guard is where we start, and everything else is a variation and just fun, right? And an adaptation to variability in the environment, correct? I'm going to start out here, collapse back, start out of here, right? I'll do about 25 of those. Then I'm going to collapse all the way back. But notice I'm staying under the dominant eye. So I am staying under my dominant eye the whole time. Drive out, collapse back, drive out, collapse back. Now I'm going to open my hand and take the pistol away. But now, forgot to point this out. That's on me. DR taught it this way. I teach this because when I clear the cover garment, look where my hand is, right? I'm coming up underneath of my dominant eye, right? I'm under my dominant eye. I let it go as my hands come together, collect the pistol and drive out. I'm going to come back here, collapse the hand into my body, holster, and then I'm going to come up. Thumbs come together, hand flicks under the trigger guard. I'm in the guard, and I roll out. And I'll do about 25, 30 of those reps, starting from the holster or however you're carrying it, and working my way up to full extension and then back. Just to reiterate, we want to start with the end in mind, right? I know that the pistol is going to end up, or the rifle is going to end up under my dominant eye. So I'm going to start under the dominant eye. My collection point where I bring my hands together is going to be under the dominant eye. And the way that I guarantee that always happens is I put my support hand, whether I'm clearing a cover garment or not, ends up right here underneath my dominant eye. So that when my hands come together, I'm under the dominant eye and driving it out. Just like I would with a rifle. I would put the toe of a long gun right here under my dominant eye so that every time I raise from low ready, right, I'm coming right up under the dominant eye. I don't have to move my head, don't have to turn or search. If you choose to run a high ready, we'll get into this on another video. If you want to run a high ready, that's cool too. Same thing though. I'm going to have the rifle below the eye line, but under the dominant eye, so that when I come up, I just snap in right under the dominant eye. Begin with the end in mind, guys, and build yourself into that. And this applies to so many aspects of combatives. Begin with the end and then backfill a perfect structure under the end. Does that make sense? If not, hit me up in the comments or DM me. I'll be happy to talk about this stuff. This is my favorite stuff to talk about, is to drill down into the fundamentals and foundational principles of what we do, because advanced stuff doesn't exist. It's the basics done at a high level against a high level opponent. That's when it's advanced. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.